Okay. Uh,
Yes, yes, sir. I've done it.
we have done the reading. So, if I may ask, is there
Yes,
any challenges you have encountered with the book? Okay. Siawonga, so what are the challenges? What exactly can you tell me one challenge that you encountered with the book? Hello? Okay. Let's look at exactly the book, what the book is saying. I'm trying to find the unit two and put it on the screen. We see what is saying. Okay. Um. Minute. Yeah. Can you hear me now? Well, is it clear now? Okay. Now unit two starts with applying the equations of a line. And now we use it to find what do we call it? Equations of demand and supply. Using the demand and supply um, um, the law of demand and supply. Then we also um, look at what we call um, equilibrium points and surpluses and um, shortages. So if you don't have any questions so far as the book is concerned, then let's pick one class test for last year. Let us try and discuss it to see whether you have really understood what you have read. That will be fine. So let's look at this passage. Um, a minute. Let me just try and get the class test paper. Hello? Hello? Can you put up the mic if you are not speaking? Can you put microphone if you are not speaking? Hello? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello? Okay. Now I've got one class test here, which was for last year, 2019. A minute. Okay. I'm going to project it on the screen right now so that we discuss um we discuss it. A minute. Um, um, a minute. Oh, a minute, a minute, please. Okay. Can you hear me clearly? Can you hear me clearly now? Hello? Okay, good. So as I said, I'm trying to project one our class test that we wrote last year, class test 2 on the screen so that we all discuss this paper. Mm, a minute. Okay, it will be coming soon. Okay, so we have question one here. Let's start with question one. Question one is saying P or C. Please, you can use the zoom on the left hand side if it is not clear for you. Now, question one says that what is wrong with this statement? Demand refers to the willingness to buy to or buyers to purchase different quantities of a goods at different prices during the time. Please, who can tell me the problem with this statement? Yes. Number two, what's the problem with this statement? Can you answer me? Please, what is the problem with this statement? Number two, your hand was up, but you're not answering the question.
I am typing,
Yes.
sir.
You said, come again.
I am still typing the answer.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. I'm waiting for you. see your answer. Now, your answer has still not been typed. Or let me see. Where is there now? Okay, so the problem is not at a different price, but at equilibrium. No, 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 no. No, no. You say that demand refers to the willingness of buyers to purchase different prices of a good at different prices during a specific time. So, demand. The problem with this statement is that demand is not only the willingness to purchase, but it is both the willingness and the ability to purchase. If you have the willingness to purchase and you don't have the ability to purchase, it's not demand. So demand will refer to both the willingness and the ability to purchase. Does that make sense to you? Does that make sense to you? Hello? Or are there any questions?
No question, sir.
Okay, thank you. Now let's go to the next one. For our next one, we have a graph showing price of cars in thousands of dollars and quantity of cars. So we realize that this is a clear supply and demand curve. As the price of the car goes up, the supply will go up. Now, as the price also goes up, the demand of the quantity of cars drops. As the price goes down, the demand increases. So it's a clear supply and demand curve. Now, the first question says that find the equilibrium price. So the equilibrium price is 9,000. Thank you very much. See, the equilibrium price is $9,000. It is where the demand and the supply curve meets, and here is the price. So the equilibrium price, you trace it from here, which is no, let me just clean it. You trace it from here. We trace it from here. So it is true that it's going to be around let me just show you. Oh, wait. We trace it from here. So it's true it's going to be around 9,000 rand. Then the second question says that we dollars, sorry. What is going to be the equilibrium quantity? What is going to be the equilibrium quantity in the above figure? You can tell us the answer. Here is the graph. The equilibrium quantity will be 5. That down there, you will see that the demand and supply curve meets at around 5. You see? So Here will be your equilibrium demand. Here will be your equilibrium quantity. Are there any questions? Okay. Let's go to the next one. The next one says that we must what will be the situation if the price is $6,000? If your price is $1,000, what will be the situation? Let me see now. If you can see on the top left corner, there is a zoom button there. You can zoom there to see clearly. On the top left corner, there's a zoom button there. You can zoom there, you can see everything clear. Okay. Now what is the quantity? Um, it says that describe the situation if the price is $6,000. $6,000. What do you think will happen? He said the quantity will be seven at $6,000. What did you see? Let me see. Yes, that one is clearly on the graph. But what will be the situation at that point? When it is at $6,000, let us look at it. When the price is at $6,000, it will be somewhere here. Uh, let me get this. It will be somewhere here. Yeah. No, it's not correct. It's not correct. At $6,000, what is going to happen is that how do I put it? There's going to be a shortage. There's going to be what we call a shortage because at $6,000, the demand will exceed the supply. At, at $6,000, the because the price is below the equilibrium price, the supply will be unwilling to supply more, and the demand and the buyers will be willing to buy more. So that's going to create a shortage at $6,000. It doesn't make sense to you. Let me go on. Hello? Can you hear me? Let me go on. Okay, now let's go on. Now, our next question says that the quantity demanded of good Z depends upon the price ZP, monthly income Y, and price of related good W. Demand for good Z is given by the equation LZ equals 150 minus PZ plus 2Y minus 15W EW. Now, what will be the independent variables? Who can tell us the independent variables? Who can tell us the independent variables? Who can tell us the independent variables? Hello, can you hear me? Okay, PZ, Y, and W. Okay, PW. So the independent variables are P, Z, Y, and PW because those one doesn't depend on anything. So in that case, QZ will be our dependent variable. Now, next question is that what will be the relationship between QZ and Y? What is the correlation? Will it be a positive correlation or a negative correlation? What will be the relationship between QZ and Y? Will it be a positive correlation or a negative correlation? Hello? Somebody answer me. Will it be a positive correlation or a negative correlation? Can somebody help us with the answer? Now you are saying that it's going to be a positive correlation. Is it correct? Okay. Yes, it's it's going to be a positive correlation because as um as what do you call it? Minute, please. Mm, mm. Okay. Question 3. You are saying that it's going to be a positive correlation. Now, what is the relationship between demand and price actually? From the law of demand, what is the relationship between demand and supply? You can tell me. From the law of demand, what's the relationship between demand and supply? Okay, good. Now we can see that y is adding, everything. It was subtracting. So obviously, quantity, what do you call it? And you can see here why it is defined as the price of a related good. So if the price of a related good um, is increasing, the quantity demanded will also what increase. Because when the price of a related good is increasing, people will always look for a substitute. So as the quantity of related good, the price increases, the quantity will also increase. The quantity will also increase. So now our next one is saying, so there will be a negative correlation there. There's going to be a negative correlation there. Now our next question um is saying what, a minute. Mm, um describe the correlation between QZ and PZ. Now obviously that one is going to be negatively correlated relationship, because we can see that the price is subtracting, and even from the law of demand, as quantity and price increases, quantity will decrease, or the vice versa. As price decreases, the quantity is going to increase. So let us look at our next one. See that the supply for monthly cell phone plan with unlimited text can be represented by QD equals to 50 minus 0.5p, and Q is equals to minus 25 plus, where P is the monthly price dollars. Determine the quantity, equilibrium price, and equilibrium quantity. And all of us work out this for me, please. And all of us work out this for me. And all of us work this out for me, and somebody give me the answer. What's going to be the answer? Okay. At equilibrium, quantity demanded will always be equals to quantity supplied. The equilibrium. That means that 50 minus 0.5p is going to be equals to minus 25 plus p. So we can say that I will bring 5 to one side, I will take 0 e to one side. You are saying why can't understand the question clearly. Can you please explain further? I can't understand what you're trying to say. Paula, I can't understand what you're trying to say. Um, that is the supply equation. It says that quantity supplied is equal to minus 25 plus P. That's why P is positive. It makes sense because as price increases, the quantity supply will also increase. Okay, good. So let's continue. So we're going to have 75. Then I'll take 0.5 to this side. I will have 3 over 2, 3 over 2p. So if my calculation is going to be right, it implies that E is going to be equals to 50. E is going to be equals to 50. Now, so that will be the equilibrium price, EE. Then equilibrium quantity, QE. I can replace 50 by into equation 1 or equation 2, and equilibrium quantity is going to be 25. Please don't confuse equilibrium quantity and equilibrium price. So equilibrium price will be 50 and equilibrium quantity will be 25. Please, any question? Please, any questions there? Okay, then we can go on if you don't have any questions. Now, our next question is that the table below gives a daily supply and demand of video games. Is is A quantity supplied or quantity demanded in the above? The above. You can answer that question for us. Is A quantity supplied or quantity demanded in the above? Who can answer that question for us? Who can answer that question for us? Okay, A is will obviously be supplied. Good, thank you, Paula. A will be supplied because as we can see that as price drops, A drops. And as price increases, A also increases. So it will obviously be supply. Then the next one says this. Is B quantity supplied or quantity demanded? So obviously B will be quantity demand. B will be demand because as price increases, quantity drops, and as price decreases, quantity increases. So A will be demand. Good. Now let's go to the next one. Unless there are any questions. Okay. Now our next one says this. Our next question is here. It says that if the shop decides to set the price as $20, how many video games will be supplied? Now, this question can be seen directly from the table. This question can be seen directly from the table to be, how do I put it? Can be seen directly from the table to be, because at $20, the current supply will be 200. So it can be seen clearly, the answer can be seen clearly to be 200. So here the answer is going to be 200. So please stop fidgeting with the screen, please. So here it will be 200. So if somebody is fidgeting with the screen, please stop fidgeting with the screen. Okay, now the next question says that state the law of supply. State the law of supply. Now it's very simple. The supply law is very simple. That things if the quantity if the also in the vice versa. The next question is we should find the demand equation. Okay, can you hear me clearly now? Can you hear me clearly? Okay, let's go on. Now, the next one says that we should find the demand equation. That means we are going to use what we know in finding equation of a line. That is y minus y1 equals to the gradient x minus x1. So here we are going to make our quantity our y. Our quantity will be equals to our y. Quantity supplied will be equals to our y. Then our price is going to be our x. So let's go back to the table. Let's go back to the table, and we can take any point. So here I can pick 20 and 200 and 10 and 400. Sorry, supply curve. So it will be, so we are looking at the supply curve. Remember that A was supply and B was demand. So here I can pick 20 and 200, 10 and 100 as my point. I can pick 20. Oh, it says equation of demand. Oh, sorry. Then that means that we are going to look at this side. We are going to look at this side. So I can pick 20 because here is supply and here is demand. So I can pick 20 and 200 and 10 and 400. I can pick 20 and 200 and 10 and 400. So my points here can be 20 when the price is 20, the demand is 200. And when the price is 10, oh, when the price is 10, the demand is 400. So I'll first find my gradient. My gradient is going to be 400 minus 200 10 minus 20, which is going to give me minus, if I can guess correctly, it's going to give me minus 20. Then I can say, I can now find my demand equation that I will just use one of the point. QD, I can just use this point, 20 and 200. QD minus 200 equals to the gradient, which is minus 20 price also minus 20. So I'm going to get QD minus 200 equals to minus 20 P plus 400. Then quantity demanded will be equals to minus 20P plus 600. Is there any questions there? Please, any questions there? All right, is that fine? Okay, let's go on. Now, our um our next one, we are going to find um our next question says that we must find what do you call it? Our next question says that we must find the equation of supply. So we are also going to use the same approach. If we can look at the table. We can pick 2 points. And here I'm going to pick 20, 200, and 20, 100. Because here is supply, and here is demand. So I'm going to pick 20, 200, and 20, 100. I'm going to pick 20, 200, and 20, 100. So here I'm going to pick 20, 200, and I can also pick the point 10 and 100. And here too, we are going to use the approach y minus y1 equals to the gradient x minus x1. Good. Yet we are going to we have to know that quantity supplied will represent our y, and quantity and price will represent our x. So the gradient will be 200 minus 100 all divided by 20 minus 10. Then our answer is going to give us 10 positive. So we can take 1 point, we can use this point. We're going to have quantity supplied minus 200 equals to gradient 10 price minus 20. So quantity supplied, I'm going to do it straightforward. It's going to be NP NP. Here will be minus 200. If this one comes here to come and cancel it out. So it will simply be 10 to be the quantity supplied. Is any questions there? Is any questions there? Now, the last question says that what will be the excess demand or supply if the price was at $30? What will be the excess demand or supply if the price was at $30? Who is going to help us there? Who is going to help us there? Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, let's go on. Now, the quantity demanded, the equation of demand is equal to minus 200p plus 600. And the quantity supplied is 10p. Quantity supplied is equal to 10p. So at price equals to 30, at price equals to 30, our quantity demanded at the price equals to 30, the quantity demanded will clearly be zero. Will clearly be zero if you replace P with the equation. And quantity supplied will clearly be 300. So at that point, there will be a surplus of 300. A surplus of 300. The next question says that $5. Now, at $5, let us remember that quantity demanded, the equation for demand is minus 200p plus 600. And quantity supplied is 10p. So at P equals to 5, quantity demanded is going to be P equals to 5. Oh, sorry, 20p, sorry, not this thing. Sorry. At P equals to 5, quantity demanded is is going to be how much? Quantity demanded is going to be 5. If we put 5 in place of P, we're going to have minus 100. So quantity demanded will be 500. And quantity applied is going to be 50. So clearly, the quantity demanded far outweighs the quantity that is being supplied. So there will be a shortage. There will be a shortage, and you have to know the value of the shortage. It's going to be at 450. It will be the quantity demanded minus the quantity supplied. Please, any questions? We have finished discussing the 2019 paper. Please, any questions? Please, any questions? Please, any questions? Hello? Can you hear me? Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so are there any questions so far? Are there any questions so far? Yes. Okay, you said no. Okay, so can we discuss another paper? Like for the 2018 paper, can we discuss another past paper? Let me look for CT2 for 2018. Where is it? Okay, here is it. Um, let me try and find the memo. CT18. Minute, I'm trying to find the question paper. Okay, let me see. Okay, so I'm going to load another paper there so we look at it. Um, Okay, these are the paper written in 2018. Now, the first question says that the law of demand implies that demand curves. Somebody help us the answer. Shifts leftwards whenever the price increase. Shifts rightwards whenever the price increase. Slope down, slope up. Which one is the answer? Who can help us with the answer? Who can help us with the answer? Number one, is it A, B, C, or D? Is it A, B, C, or D, please? Good. C. It slopes downwards. Because we know that as if here is price and here is demand, the curve is always like this. As price drops, demand increases. As price drops, as price increases, demand falls. So the answer is C. Now the second one says that if the quantity demanded exceeds the quantity supplied, then there is is it A, B, C, or D? Is it shortage and the price is above the equilibrium price, or is it surplus and the price below is the equilibrium price, or is it a shortage and the price is below the equilibrium price? Is it a surplus and the price is above the equilibrium price? Is it A, B, C, or D? Who is going to help us with that? Is it A, B, C, or D? I'm waiting for the answer. Okay, it's going to be a shortage. Jacob says that it's going to be a shortage and the price. Um, Jacob, your answer was A. Okay, let us see whether it's A. It is A. One thing you are correct about is that there's going to be a shortage. Let us see whether your answer is really A. Let us draw the supply. Let us draw the F. Let us draw the demand and supply curve. It will be like this. Then one will come here. Then the other will go here. Now, this will be supply and this will be demand. F. And here will be price and here will be quantity. So now, if demand exceeds supply, I mean that the curve will be somewhere here. Have you seen that? Because it says that the quantity demanded exceeds the quantity supplied. So while the quantity demanded exceeds the quantity supplied, there will be a shortage. There will be a shortage. There's going to be a shortage. And the equilibrium price, which is here, just know that, remember that where the demand and supply curve is, we have the equilibrium price and the equilibrium quantity. So we have the price here and quantity here. equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity. So barely the answer will be C. Yeah, it's going to be C. It's going to be a shortage, but the price will be below the equilibrium price. Okay, good. Now let's go to the next one. Now our next one talks about let's go to our next question. Now our next question has got it says that if the quantity supplied exceeds the quantity demanded, obviously there will be a surplus. The surplus will be up. Obviously there will be a surplus. It will be like this. Excuse me, let me draw it properly. There's going to be a surplus so here will be quantity and price. No, sorry, the price will be here and the quantity will be here. Then we are going to have this will be the supply curve and this will be the demand curve. And we are going to have our equilibrium um, we are going to have our equilibrium quantity here and equilibrium price here. So if supply exceeds demand, that means that our is going to be somewhere here. If supply exceeds demand, it's going to be somewhere here. So obviously there's going to be a surplus and the price will be above the equilibrium price. This one too has got an answer of C. Please, are there any questions so far? Please, are there any questions so far? Okay. Then let's continue. Now, next question, we are going to look at say that use the graph to answer the questions below. So this graph has got a demand curve and a supply curve. This graph has got a demand curve and a supply curve, and it has also got so it's quantity plotted against price. So the first one says that the equilibrium price, the above figure will be. You can write it for me. What will be the equilibrium price? Yes, the equilibrium price will be 6, which is D. Thank you. The equilibrium quantity is going to be what? Good. So at the price of 10 in the above figure, would there be a surplus or there will be Will there be a surplus or there will be shortage? And to be by how much? At the price 10. No, the answer cannot be B. Please check it properly. Yes, I'm waiting for you. The price 10. What's going to happen? Yes, I'm waiting. Let us look at it. The price 10 is going to be here. And at this price, the supply, the supply exceeds the demand. The supply is 500, the demand is 100. So there's going to be a surplus. Good. So at the price 10, there will really be a surplus of, the answer is A. There will be a surplus of 400 units. There will be a surplus of 400 units. Okay, let's go on. Good, it's A. Now, at price $4, what's going to happen? Let us look at $4. When the price is $4, at $4 is going here. $4, the demand exceeds the supply because the demand is going to be 400. The supply is going to be 200. So what's going to happen there? What will be the answer? What will be the answer for number 4.4? No, the answer cannot be A. Because at $4, the demand, people are demanding more and people but than is being supplied. So there will be shortage. Understand me? There cannot be a surplus. Because people are demanding more and people are so there's going to be a shortage of 200 units. There's going to be a shortage of 200 units. Okay, thank you. The answer is D. Now, the next one says that use the information below to answer the following questions. Now we have the number of pieces, the price pizza, the price of tomato sauce, the price of cheese, the price of the price of pizza dough, the number of potential pizza eaters. Now, the price of pizza is a function of the price of tomato, price of cheese, and price of pizza dough. Now, the first question says that identify the dependent and independent variable. So, dependent, yes, that one is the independent. Good. And EP will be the dependent. EP will be dependent. Yes. Thank you. And the next question says that describe the relationship, correlation between the price of pizza and the price of cheese. What will be the relationship between the price of pizza and the price of cheese? What will be the relationship? It will be a positive correlation because cheese is used in the manufacture of pizza. So if the price of cheese goes up, the price of pizza will also go up. So there is a positive correlation there. If any questions there? Please, any questions there? Okay, now let's look at the next one. Now we have got another function where we have quantity demanded. It's a function of price of pizza and the number of potential n is the number of potential pizza eaters. N is the number of potential pizza eaters. So here too, identify the dependent and independent variables. What will be the dependent variable? The QD will be dependent and PP N will be independent. Independent. Are there any questions there? Are there any questions there? Okay, then let's go on. Our next question says that describe the correlation between pizza demanded and the number of potential pizza eaters. What will be the relationship? It will be a positive correlation. It will be a positive. It will be a positive correlation. It will be a positive correlation. Positive correlation. Why? Because if the number of potential pizza eaters increase, the quantity demanded for pizza will also increase. Is there any questions there? Please, any questions there? Okay, now the next one says that demand describe the relationship between pizza demanded and the price of pizza. Obviously, it's going to be a negative correlation. It will be a negative correlation because if the price of pizza increases, the quantity demanded of pizza would drop. The next question says this: if the quantity and supply curve of computers is given as we see there, quantity demanded is 300 minus 2p, and quantity supplied is minus 50 plus 3p. If P is the price of computers, determine the quantity of computers bought and sold at equilibrium. If P is the price of computers, determine the quantity of computers bought and sold at equilibrium. So now we know that at equilibrium, at equilibrium, we know that at equilibrium, we know that at equilibrium, the quantity, the demand is equals to the supply. So I can say 300 minus 2P equals to minus 50 plus 3P. Because of space, I'm going to do it straight. So P, the price is going to be equals to 350 divided by 5, which is going to give us 70. And we can find the quantity, equilibrium quantity, where we can put 5 into 70 into either equation, in the demand equation or the supply equation. And whichever one we use, we are going to notice that the equilibrium quantity is going to be 160. It's going to be 160. Please, any questions there? Please, any questions there? Okay. Now, our next one, it says that what is the equation of demand in the table below? Now, we have got price, and we have got we have got the price, the supply, and the demand. It's in millions of IBS. So where is it? Okay, good. So here we are going to use, we know that we are going to use the what we know about equation of y minus y1 equals to the gradient x minus x1. So we know that we can pick here is the demand, here is the demand, and here is the price. We can pick any 2 points. So I can pick let's remember that the quantity demanded will be our y, and quantity supplied, sorry, and price will be x. So um we can take 2 points, say 3 for price, 34 for quantity demanded. Then we can pick another 6 for price and 28. Yes, Paula, it matters because if you do the other way around, even though remember that remember that your quantity demanded is always your dependent variable. Always in that, and your quantity and the price is always a dependent variable. So if you do it the other way around, it will look like now your price is rather depending on your quantity. And remember that now you are answering multiple choice questions. So if you do it the other way around, you're going to have quite a different answer from the answer that you will find in the question. That understood? Paula, am I making sense to you? Okay, thank you. Okay, so here we are going to have our gradient, which will be equals to 34 minus 28 3 minus 6. Then we get 6 divided by minus 3, which will give us minus 2. So our equation will be KOD. We can use any of the points. So I'll use the first one, minus 34 equals to minus 2 b minus 3. So it's going to be, I'll just try to write the answer straight. QD is going to be equals to minus 2p plus 28. And we have our answer. Any questions there? Please, any questions there? Okay, then let's look at our last question. Now, our last question too, we have got the following table gives daily supply and demand of hot dogs in a sporting event. So here we have got the price, we have got the quantity demanded, and we have got the quantity supplied. Now, the first question is, what is the equilibrium price of hot dog? What makes you think so? Yes, good. Polar is 1,6. And why is it 1,6? Good, because the quantity demanded goes to the Now, say that if I'm repeating the question again, the question says that if the organizers of the sporting event decide to set the price at 1,8, how many hot dogs will be sold? But who can tell us the answer? Yes, it will be 1,600 because the supply will be 4,800, but the demand will be 1,000. So it will be only 1,600 that will be bought. Okay, good. Okay, still the law of supply simply says that all things being equal, if the price of a particular good increases, supply also increases. Also, the vice versa is also true. If the price decreases, the supply also decreases. Now, what will be the demand or supply if the price is $1? Now, if hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, good. So it's our next question says that um what will be the excess demand or supply if the price was set at 210? So at 210, would there be an excess demand or an excess supply? Who can help us? Who can help us there? Can you hear me? Okay, good. So please, I disconnected. Now I'm reconnected. So I'm asking again. Please write the answer again. Would there be an excess at the price of 2,10 at the price of 2,10 pounds? Would there be an excess demand or an excess supply? There will be an excess supply. Good, because the supply will far outweigh the demand, so there will be a surplus. There will be a surplus. Then the last one says that what will be the excess demand or supply if the price is at $1,2? 8.5 is demand, but please, you don't have to write demand. You must write the actual. Okay. You must write the actual value. For instance, of 8.4, what will be the actual excess? 8.4, what is going to be the actual excess? Um, the demand, so it will be fourth good. The excess in demand will be 3,900, and in 8.4, the um the excess supply is going to be 6,400. Good. So please, in the absence of no question, I should believe we have covered everything that you are supposed to know in 4. So unless you have any questions, I would like to bring the class to an end. If you have any questions, I would like to bring the class to an end. Are there any questions? Okay, thank you very much. So I'm going to convert the class into a link, and I'm going to send a link to you in maybe an hour's time. So thank you very much for coming.